University of Toronto. It is the U of T going over onto that red side. So we'll see how first pick priority changes up this pick and ban. We'll see if we still get relatively consistent bans, or if there's anything that, maybe Toronto displayed that, hey, we don't want to see that come out again. New York's going to ban it preemptively. Kazakhs on the way down, so nothing too immediate there. We'll see how the rest of this one pans out, but I wouldn't be surprised to see some adaptations. I mean, do you call the whole composition wrong? Do you try to take away the first Tristana pick? Aaron was really not the saving grace, but the glue that held his team together. The damage on Def Rep and Junex, really good as they got rolling, but towards the end of the game became the Aaron show on that Tristana. Do you look to replicate that or try to shut it down if you are New York University? That's kind of where my question is around this beginning of the game.
Yeah, that's the problem with running what New York ran, because you can blatantly see that the comp was the big problem there. Taking something away from Toronto might not yield any sort of results, because their comp was very standard. It was the meta. It's what you play to win. While New York, they had something a little bit unique that they played to throw off Toronto, and it didn't work out. So you can't really ban out anybody on the side of Toronto and say that's going to fix anything. You have to fix your own team comp here, and I really hope they do that this time around. They do take out the Skarner, though, not wanting to deal with Longboy being able to rush in your face with the Predator and put you on the Stinger with the Impale.
Yeah, Skarner was a little bit of X factor for the side. Haha Longboy played it pretty well, all things considered, toward the end of the last game, and really finding those targets. It seemed to not matter who he pulled, because whomever it was just had a bad day, except for, I guess, AD Carry with the QSS sitting right on that Tom Ken. So I doubt we're going to see that one come out again, but it's going to be new junglers across the board, as J4 taken out means Sejuani, the first pick, and without hesitation taken out and away. We'll see if this leaves the door open for the Tristana coming out yet again for the side of University of Toronto.
Yeah, and I wouldn't mind seeing the Tristana. Tristana is still a good AD carry no matter what. You can counterpick her and make her into a little bit of a weak lane, but she still does have a strong presence overall, especially with the tower pushing that the kit does bring with the explosive charge. We're going to see a Zac pop out of here, though, on the side of Toronto. So we have that long engage on Toronto. We also have the engage from New York with Sejuani, the Glacial Prison, and, of course, the rush with the boar rush. I'm going to see what they decide to pick up here. I do want to see the Tristana picked up sometime soon, and there it is, locked in for Toronto. That gives them the objective pressure on those towers, which is pivotal for any of these games, because objectives win the games, not kills.
Yeah, definitely a big pickup for them last time. This time around, no surprises, so going to be a pretty good takeaway. Zac as well, something we've seen banned throughout a lot of this tournament coming through, just really since the 8.3 or 4 patch. I can't exactly recall which one it was, but we saw a good amount of Zac coming out. Now, they will take the Braum away. They don't want that coming through, and it's still the Jinx. Malala played a good Jinx, and a lot went wrong in that composition, but I would not pin that on him. They perhaps had too high hopes for this hyper carry, but we'll see whether or not they can replicate another successful run through here. So it's top and mid to be picked yet again. The two big question marks coming out from New York University as we do get into the second round of bans. Rumble will be locked in, and I like to see that actually coming out. Change up from Junex there.
Yeah, I haven't seen a Rumble in a good while, and that is an offensive top laner that we do see every now and then. We see a lot more, we especially see it around Worlds times. I know it is still a very globally accepted champion. We're going to see the Scion banned out by University of Toronto. We're going to see how that is answered by New York University, but having a Rumble in that top lane, that does give the counter pick over to New York. So we're going to see what they also pick up on that one. Gnar is pretty decent into Rumble. Can't get into the face of the Flame Spitter. As you with the Gnar, you can just auto attack and deal out a pretty decent amount of damage. Kind of give Rumble a hassle on that top side. Morgana banned out. That is a indeed. Did not see any sort of Morgana last game. Not picked, not banned. It is a it is a champion played by Deadly, played by a.
It is a champion.
Yeah. It is a. It is a ban regardless. I guess they just don't want any sort of catch on that Dark Binding, but on the side of Toronto, they do ban out Cho'Gath, eliminating one of those big top laners that also can give Rumble some trouble.
Yep, so pretty safe throughout the top lane. Looks to me now that they're going to be trying to say Junex needs to carry this game. Obviously, they know with the Tristana pick that Aaron is going to feel right at home. Vladimir taken out on the other side, so a little mid and support focus coming out of the side of New York University. Going to see what they opt to take now as they do move into the last round of picks before Deadly does get that last pick. So this is going to be very telling for their composition. I would be surprised if it was not the support pick and a relatively safe one to boot. So yeah, Lulu does come out and through. They're going to take that one up. We'll see what the solo lanes now of New York University are going to be. They can't exactly cheese the Ornn the same way they did. So if they do pick it, it will be no surprises and very susceptible to the counter pick. Personally, I don't even think DefRef needs a counter pick. He can just play Orianna again, pretty much into anything. That's they're playing, it's unknown. I'm just going to play Ori. We'll see, though. Zig's going to raise a few interesting eyebrows here. And the Gnar pickup, I already like this composition so much more coming out from New York University, and we're going to see how well they can execute on this.
Yeah, the Gnar, predictable pick in the top lane that, again, good counter to Rumble, not to mention overall good pick for engage, for tankiness, for split push. Gnar covers a lot of boxes, checks a lot of boxes, I should say. Ziggs coming out in that mid lane does give them that potential to take out a turret very quickly, and that is something that they need to push the objective of, but it also gives them that AP damage that they missed sorely in game number 1. So I'm very excited to see anything in that mid lane that's not an Ornn. Ziggs, a little bit questionable. Now going against a Talon on DefRef. That is going to be huge because Talon can absolutely destroy Ziggs if he has his way with him.
Well, so this entire team now coming out from the University of Toronto can absolutely shred through anyone they so choose. Going to be a little bit of trouble now. Just the peel has to come out. Looks like we might potentially... I'm not going to comment on this until I know it's coming through for sure. But it looks like Aqua Blue and AD Carry may be role swapping. So we'll see whether or not that one does come out through and holds as the countdown is coming. Once we get to the 3-minute delay, we'll start breaking that one down if that is the case. No last-minute swaps seem to be coming through. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Aqua Blue support now to hold for Malala. AD Carry coming to the jungle with that Sejuani. This is not new for New York University. If this is making you scratch your head, this is something they've done in the past. NYU does swap around those players in those positions. We'll get it fixed for you when we get into the actual game, but it was interesting. I was waiting for that to swap up, and it did not. So now Aqua Blue on that Braum support and AD Carry on the Sejuani jungle. I wonder which one they swapped for, right? What is the reason for this? Is AD Carry the better Sejuani? Is Aqua Blue the better Braum? They did pick up Sejuani earlier now into the draft, so that tells me they might have been planning for this. But I'm curious to see it all unfold now because it's going to change up the entire dynamic of the game.
Yeah, normally you do see the roles come in order they're supposed to be, but they might have been calling an audible during champion select and said, all right, this might be better. Let's go ahead and scramble, do an audible, and throw AD Carry into the mix on jungle. So very interesting. We're going to see how that one plays out for them as we get going. But Talon is going to be this interesting factor here. So the team comp of University of Toronto is very interesting. They do have some very good engage coming out. Yeah, they do have some good engage coming out, and they have great counter engage. They have Lulu on their side. Lulu was banned out last time around. This time they do have a lot of protection for Aaron. They have the engage. They have Rumble also with the equalizer. But Talon is the big one. Obviously, you want to go assassinate. If New York can shut down that Talon, that might be a huge win for them in game number 2 because they actually do have a decent team comp. I mean, Ziggs is immobile, but he does have a pretty decent, I would say, half global presence with his ultimate. Can affect both lanes from the mid lane.
Absolutely. So we'll see whether or not Malphite can really use that to his advantage and stay very consistent throughout there. I'm very curious to see because the Ornn play in the mid lane was not necessarily bad. Nothing mechanical about that Ornn play. I've sat there and felt, okay, this thing just unraveled it and Malphite as a player can't keep up with DefRef. It was more of just the way that it didn't exactly gel within the composition, and it was so exploitable past the 15-20 minute mark for the University of Toronto. So we'll see how his Ziggs play lives up to scratch because the rest of the team there, all things considered, otherwise being equals, stands a great chance in this matchup. I think Gnar on the Sprinkles on the Gnar, rather. I feel like, Junex's Rumble is an X factor. We don't know how that's going to pan out, but I trust that Sprinkles is going to have a pretty good Gnar game just based off of what he was able to do with Sion before the game came off the rails. We already know that Malala can play Jinx well. So now the big question marks, obviously the lane swap, or the role swap, I should say, between Aqua Blue and AD Carry, jungle and support, and now the AP Carry in the mid. There are at least 2 constants to keep in mind, but All in all, yeah, I still think University of Toronto just looks so good. Their composition has so much damage, and Aaron on that Tristana is going to make this an uphill battle despite a better composition now coming out from the side of New York University.
Yeah, that is the thing. That yeah, Toronto does have an incredible amount of damage, but there is a lot of safety on the side of University. I'm sorry, New York University. A lot of safety with the Braum. You do have that. You have Gnar, who can stay safe, and again, split push very well. Ziggs does want to stay safe in that lane as well. Sejuani being a big front line with the Braum and the Gnar. But again, we talked about it last game. Gnar can also double as a big damage dealer, especially early on, building that Black Cleaver and then building into defensive stats afterward. This is going to be an interesting match. I'm very excited to see how this one goes. Probably the most unique match we've seen thus far that's actually competitive, not really the cheese factor that we got last game, but the actual one-on-one competitive match where they pick some sort of niche mid laner that can deal damage and fit into a team comp relatively well as we get onto the Rift here. Very excited to see where this one goes. In game number 2. This is game number 2, by the way, in best of 5. Toronto versus New York University.
Yes. Toronto sitting up 1-0 over NYU as things are standing right now, but we'll see whether or not that continues. Looks like a little bit of a stack up from NYU. They might want to find just a cheeky kill brush onto somebody or just push right through the jungle, but will be spotted out by the ward. They should get that thing destroyed. Yep, but they gave away what looks to be all of their positions. Now that's going to know for the side of University of Toronto. They can come in, they can get some aggressive wards down on the New York University blue buff and make sure that they can invade properly there. We'll see whether or not Rumble and Zach stick around. Longboy and Junix actually could get into some trouble. I think they just leave the ward. They were waiting on the timing there of the free ward to make sure they knew exactly what was happening with blue buff. Makes sense. And so, it was an aggressive move by NYU, but this gives a lot of advantage actually over to the side of Toronto because they're going to be read like a book here.
Yeah, very much so, as we do see both junglers starting on that bot side, going to be working their way up top, and yeah, there is vision being established by Toronto, so they know where it's going on. They know where where New York is going to be going. They have exactly the information that they need. As both junglers, they do start up their respective buffs. Expect to see a little bit of a gank in the top side, maybe even the mid side, because both these champions in the mid side, they actually are immobile. Defref, he doesn't have an escape outside of Flash. Maulface, he does. He actually does have Satchel Charge along with Flash. Satchel Charge, you have to place it properly. Can actually displace the enemy as well. We're going to see how that one goes in the mid lane. I'm very excited for this mid lane because that's a big factor right here. Rumble also, I do see Rumble a lot more than a Talon though, as we see just how much trouble that Rumble can have in the top side, but he is farming very well in the early going.
Very much the case, yeah. And so farm was very important, keeping the last game on the rails for the University of Toronto, and it helped them scale in when the kills were staying even, when the towers actually favored New York University. Didn't matter because the farm potential was just so definitively there. Wow, Maulface ready to slap down the damage, and Defref, may not have been ready for that one. So
we'll see if that's Ziggs.
Yeah, we'll see if that's a wake-up call or not. I would not be surprised to see some jungle attention being played to this mid lane, but you never know.
And I did just switch the overlay for Braum and Sejuani. Sorry about that one. Forgot that they did that. Because yeah, we do have AD. Yeah, we do have AD carry, sure, who was the Tom Kinch last game, and that is something also to consider because now you have a different jungle style you have to worry about. Not starting the top side, starting the bot side. That's already different, and we're gonna see what he prioritizes, how he ganks, how he synergizes with his team. I love lanes role swaps, but it's also extremely hard to keep up with sometimes because we just don't know. I did mention that they are known to do this though, role swap every now and then.
Yep.
We're going to find out why.
It's something we saw happen in the game earlier that they played this season on stream. Now, ladies and gentlemen, while we are bringing up slight things to your attention, the scoreboard is incorrect. Toronto is actually 1-0 over New York. This is not the first game of the series. This is game number 2, so we will get that updated for you here shortly. Just for anyone who may be joining us, Toronto did take game number 1 in about 27 minutes. So it was an impressive win, stayed even until about 15 minutes, and then broke wide open for the side of Toronto based off of a pretty good team fight that led them to a Baron. So, top to bottom, well played out of that. Now it is the redemption story, perhaps, for New York University, as they are drafting a bit of a safer, more conventional comp, and they seem to be executing on it well already. Ziggs up 10 CS in the mid lane before he backs to grab that tier. Nar having a pretty decent time in this top lane. Obviously, the right as I say that, the trade's not going his way. He stands in the Rumble Flame Spitter and minion aggro a bit too long, but his CS is consistent. He's making the moves. Now potentially Zach on the bot side. We'll see if a gank comes out here before too long, because I think with Aqua Blue on the support Braum should be pretty safe here.
Yeah, there's not really much flashiness they're going to do on the bot side here. Yeah, they do back away before Longboy gets his slingshot charged up and launches in. Meanwhile, again in that mid lane, we did see Defref go back. He picked up a Null Mantle just to get himself a little bit of resistance against the onslaught of Malphase. He's doing a great job countering into this Talon. Talon, of course, he pops off at level 6, so we're going to wait for that. Both of them are level 5 right now.
Almost there, yeah.
Yeah, that's when it really shows that Talon can destroy somebody. But Malphase, he did bring Barrier with him, so it's gonna be pretty hard for Defref to really get in there and 100-0 him at that point.
Sure, yeah, it's going to provide that extra little bit of a boost that he needs for survivability in those fights. Curious to see when these fights are going to start breaking out. It's Longboy hanging around this bot side. He's wanted this for a while, and potentially with the sneak up might have an opportunity. We'll see as they do push up. Nilala jumping right out of that one, but Aqua Blue in some serious trouble. And look at that, Aaron with the dive in gets himself first blood this time. The reset means that Deadly will take the credit away, and Nilala goes down as well. It's another 2-for-0 start, favoring the University of Toronto.
Yeah, very nice placement by Longboy. Knew there was no ward. It's very easy to keep track of wards in the early going because they only have a finite amount, and you can just count where they're going to go, or keep track of where they're going to go, count them up, and you know exactly where the wards are. Knew that there was no ward in the bot side brush on his side. Knew he could slingshot from there all the way in. And Malala, Aqua Blue, both going down. Malala also used both of his summoners, so he is a very vulnerable target for future ganks, and that's going to allow them to pick up the Drake possibly.
Yeah, no, it's an Infernal Drake off the rip yet again, and it looks like AD Carry wanted to find the steal. There is the Ziggs bomb as well, but not there to get it in time. So first Infernal Drake going over for free to the side now of University of Toronto, and actually cost the flash of AD Carry as well. So going to be feeling pretty good about that one. Sprinkles wants to find Junix, but I believe he's just going to try to keep punishing out this advantage in the top side, reset this wave. He has the teleport. And so this should get him a little bit ahead here and feeling pretty good, especially as it's armor boots taken out for Rumble. The first item, the Ninja Tabi, will be picked through. So just trying to get some defensive survivability in this lane against the Gnar that's causing so many headaches.
Yeah, those auto attacks are so annoying. It's like a little mosquito that just keeps keeps stinging you and stinging you, and eventually it starts becoming a problem. I don't know if a mosquito was really the right analogy, but you understand what I mean. He's going to get those Ninja Tabi, just reduce that auto attack harass from Sprinkles. Meanwhile, more attention on the bot side.
Ooh, yeah, look at that. They're just coming in for Malala. That is the Zac bounce right back into the midst of things. And now with Sprinkles coming through, double teleport on each side. This is why they were walking back to lane, but it's only the Zac passive. If they find it, they're trying instead to kill Deadly, and do. So now pushing in onto Junex. There is a lot of pressure here. Ziggs has joined the fight, so Malphase gonna slap this one back down, bring it good to good position, and look at that! It's gonna force a double flash in unison. Longboy and Aaron both getting out of that one, but a lot of tower priority now. It's firmly in the hands of the New York University roster. Talon roaming on the back line. We'll see if he can make anything happen here, because Defref with flash and ultimate is ready to get into this. Longboy as well has the passive. We'll see. He's coming in. Aqua Blue is going to get in trouble. That's only the passive pop. Here is Defref. They're going to try to find Sprinkles. Aqua Blue goes down. Sprinkles as well. It's a double kill for the Toronto mid laner, and AD Carry now in so much trouble. Malphase, can he get the damage out in time? He is certainly dead. Bombs himself and takes a little bit out on Aaron to get the kill. Actually, the barrier just to buy time for Milala. Can you do anything to Defref? The answer is no. It's a quadra kill. Are we going to see this one, Beck, as he finds Malala killing Longboy and Defref?
Oh my god.
Can you pull it off the early pentakill? Yes! He takes that one down. 8.5 minutes into the game. 8-4. And it is a pentakill on a level 7 Talon. Are you kidding me?
That was an 8.5-minute pentakill on your assassin carry. That is exactly what you want. The tower was not even taken, by the way, by New York University. They were not able to pick up the tower, but Defref with the huge roam on the backside, able to get a pentakill, and now he is going to go back. He has 4,300 gold in his pocket, right? Well, overall, for the overall game. The most amount of gold, obviously, he just got a pentakill, coming back with a huge, huge power spike. He even has Actually already had the Hex Drinker. Massive, massive play for Def Ref. Huge play, huge overall advantage for Toronto now, and that is a really big disadvantage going over to New York University. Deadly, very nice timing on his polymorph on the bot side, and the shield able to help out Def Ref. Pentakill. I haven't seen a pentakill all season. I didn't think I'd see one at 8.5 minutes in either.
No, certainly not the case. It is a strange turn of events that has put Toronto firmly into the driver's seat of this game at only 10 minutes. Now we will see how they capitalize on it because the pressure is on. Def Ref was not having a stellar performance on this Talon before that breakout moment, so we'll see if Malface can bring things back a little bit closer to the status quo. He's actually only about 3 kills behind because he does have 2 of his own, but now we have a roaming Talon online, and this is bad. Sprinkles is just going to get 1-0. There was not even the assist from Junex, as now Longboy is trying to push things under the tower. The dive is coming out. Glacial Fissure going to try to get down, but not enough to keep Malala safe as he's bounced out of his own tower. Aaron takes that one out and away, and Aqua Blue in some serious trouble here. Aaron finding the double kill to get the reset and jump out. Ladies and gentlemen, that is clean, and it will provide the first tower of the game going down. University of Toronto have blown this wide open at 10.5 minutes. This is impressive.
They're looking to shut down Def Ref, though.
Yeah, they found it. That's a consolation prize.
Yeah, I mean, he still has 1,300 in his pocket. Again, once again, roaming up to the top side. So he's had effect in every side of the map. But it does give a little bit of breathing room for New York University. Shutting him down, getting that global gold over to their team. That is something they need very sorely right now with how much they're losing bot side, with how much pressure Def Ref is putting on the entire map, along with Longboy just almost essentially camping the bot side. He has a tent down there, and he is not leaving it. Loves that bot side, but now with the turret gone, he may focus other lanes, may just continue to get Def Ref even more propelled. He already has his Blade of Drakthor, as well as Dust Blade of Drakthor, which is a huge item for Talon at 11 minutes. Usually you get that at about 15, in between 15 and 20, accelerating himself very, very much in this early game.
Yeah, wow, absolutely the case. I figured it out. New York University just needs to find a way in which they can completely play around the bot side of the map and not lose. So they just need to send their bot side to the top, and then 4-man top, and then suddenly there will be no bot side. Right? Genius. Foolproof.
Sure, genius.
Because every time they go bot side, something horrible happens. It's been haha Longboy hanging out down there. Def Ref got his pentakill. This has been a bloodbath of a lane for the unfortunate duo of Malala and Aqua Blue. So the lane swap not favoring the new support. Already 3 deaths to his name. Role swap, I should say, not lane swap. AD carry in the jungle had a little bit more success to his name, but it's still not gone too well. He did have a nice catch earlier on the Def Ref. We'll see if he can continue this one, but he's been read like a book. Malala getting bounced back, and that is super bad news. Aaron on the killing spree. Longboy on this Zach has been absolutely devastating, and Aaron is reaping all of the benefits. The Blast Cone might buy him a little bit of time, but has to use the ultimate to get out in earnest as Junex was able to play. And Def Ref with a clean rotation says, where in the world do you think you're going? 7 out of his team's 14 kills at 12 minutes. This is just unhinged now. University of Toronto are holding no bars. They are punching this one right through.
Def Ref has boots of the mobility, and he's going to use them even in this mid lane now.
Yeah, wow. Look at that. They're trying just now to dive on the Malface. The damage is there. I think Zach still has passive at this point.
Yeah, he does. They're actually going to back off. That's fine.
Jinx Rocket not finding the target either, so unfortunate for Malala to not get the cheeky pinch-off kill that he wanted there. And Longboy actually wouldn't have died anyway because it's just the passive. They do have now Sprinkles coming in for this. We'll see whether or not anything can happen here. But look at that. That's the juke. Oops. Longboy has just been impressive this game.
This is he has so much. He has almost all 14 kill participation. He has 12 kill participation. Hold on, my mouse just went over the Raptors there. Thank you, camera. But so Def Ref, he is obviously a monster right now. Let's not take anything away from Aaron, and this is even bigger for Toronto. They have 2 big power spikes, Def Ref and Aaron. Aaron is 6-1 and 5, arguably just as powerful. Actually has more gold than Def Ref right now, so arguably just as powerful, if not more powerful. Obviously can't burst. He's not a Talon, but has the amount of damage to dish out over time. Probably at the peak of his mid game power spike. He has 2 items at 14 minutes. It's incredible. So New York University, or University of New York, I should say. No, it's New York University. Sorry about that. NYU. They have,
NYU, yep.
they have to wonder, like, if these get into all-out team fights, who are they going to focus? Def Ref, he's going to destroy whoever he touches. Aaron, he's going to destroy the entire team if they give him time. They go for the quick fix, or they go for the overall, maybe just disengage and try to catch somebody like this right here. They can't even catch Def Ref. They have to actually land those first. But Def Ref is so slippery with his parkour. This is a bad position for New York University.
Yeah, it's two slippery targets that they need to lock down. The side of New York University has to start playing so opportunistically at this point. They just have to look for a pick, hope they get it, and then turn that into as much as they can possibly get their hands on, because at 15 minutes, to be down 7K already and not have taken a tower when all of your outers are lying in shambles. No, I'm sorry, they took the inner top, so outer mid is still standing. I stand corrected. But either way, when 3 towers down to 0 now, it's a hard pickup, a hard road to fight for New York University. So, you know, they had some nice change-ups. Smallface on the Ziggs actually been looking a lot better for his team, staying consistent in farm, even though Def Ref has been ahead since 8 minutes. We'll see, though, if he can stay safe. That's the bounce up, finds the 2 to pull in, and look at that. Longboy slays Smallface, and now should be getting the rest of the damage out as well with Aaron's help. AD carry, yeah. Just trying to get in. They might kill Zach here, possibly, but look at that Def Rep in through the back. Just finds it. It's a double kill for him, a double kill for Aaron. They're staying consistent as these two are playing more against each other now than they are against the side of NYU, because this is just absolutely devastating if you are New York University. That's going to be another tower to fall, and the death timers are still relatively short. Zig should have the bomb to come up, but still not going to be able to save this inner mid. And that just hurts.
With Def Rev this fed, with Boots' mobility, with the parkour ability to get over walls, even if he's not in a team fight, you still have to be cautious of him. He can come out from the very back, just like he did from the very first fight, and destroy everybody. And now you have Aaron to complement that damage as well. You have Longboy to complement all that with the CC that he can supply. Because by the time he even blows all of his CC, the fight is essentially over. It takes it that short of a time for Toronto to destroy University of New York here, New York University here. This is a huge fight, or a huge game for Toronto, displaying their power and possibly tilting New York University going into game number 3. Because go on.
I was gonna say, we talked about, you know, they have a heavy matchup coming up now against Western. But Lord Almighty, if I'm Western, I'm sitting here scratching my chin a little bit at this Toronto roster. They were relative unknowns. They're displaying a strong amount of power here on stream. Now, this is obviously the best of 3 series. The reverse sweep not out of the question, as it seems like it was just a couple things to go wrong each time for New York. With relatively balanced mechanical play and a decent mind for macro, anything could happen in the rest of this series. However, right now it looks to be...
indeed.
Yeah, firmly like it's going to be a 2-0 start for the University of Toronto, unless, like I said, a miracle happens for the side of New York University.
We were talking about the legacy of Toronto, and you know, it's not just the legacy of Toronto. Hold on, I can't even talk about it. We're going to engage.
Aaron's just jumping into 5 at this point. I mean, look at this. He gets caught up, but I don't think they're going to be able to do much with it. That is the Zach Common jinx. They've blown so much, and they only just now get him. Sprinkles could have expedited that, but was instead on to Haha Longboy, who will not die regardless. They find the catch, but is it a Pyrrhic victory, because it is at the cost of all of their ultimates?
Longboy pulling the gun a little, or trigger a little bit too early there, getting a little too happy. You still have to respect the team of New York University. They can still kite you. If you're going in by yourself, especially Zach, he's not the fed one. He has 1-1. He's 14 assists, yes, but he...
Well, Aaron Rocket jumped in.
Okay, well, yeah, you can't do that either. You don't ever want to.
5.
You don't ever want to do that unless you have 5 members there. But hold on, Longboy going back in.
Oh boy, yeah, Longboy trying to save this tower. They don't want to give up the objectives. And Def Ref rampaging. That's the double kill. Can he do it again, ladies and gentlemen? He already has 1 penta on the docket. They're trying as hard as they might to stop him, but the steal out from Dead Lee and Junex will mean that he stays alive. The penta is denied, but look at this, the triple kill. Ace on the docket, and that's going to be absolutely nightmarish for the side of New York University. They're going to lose the inhibitor. Yep. They just pulled the Rift Herald. They're gonna lose the inhibitor pre-20 minutes here, and the super minions are already going to start flooding in.
And June is teleporting to the top side, I think only to make this a perfect game as far as objectives go, because he doesn't want to lose a turret. They're going to go and push into the mid lane inhibitor turret and take that down pretty easily. They still have the Rift Herald. He's actually going to do some damage to the Nexus turret unless Malala can stop him. But
I think he can.
It doesn't even matter at this point. This is... I was talking about the legacy of Toronto, and man, they are keeping that legacy alive. Invert, I hope he's watching this because he must be proud of the current coach. The whole team must be proud of the entire University of Toronto team thus far, because it looks like we're going to go into a game number 3 with a 2-0 Toronto. And if game number 3 goes anything like this one, we're going to have a very easy game number 3, and University of Toronto going to face Western Purple in the semifinals.
Yeah, and that would be an interesting semifinal indeed. I tweeted earlier about how much fun I was having watching the East. It's only going up. This is just a roller coaster, tick, 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 ticking, all right, on up to the very top for me thus far watching this Eastern bracket. So a lot of fun schools to pay attention to. And on the other side, we have Waterloo and Ottawa coming up to play the winner now of Western and the winner of this series, which we can go ahead and say looks like Toronto stands a pretty good chance.
We don't know Western Purple yet. We don't quite know.
No. I was saying to win this particular series.
Oh, yeah, so far. Yeah.
Right. You never count the chickens before they hatch. We've seen more ridiculous reverse sweeps just here in CSL. We'll see, though, whether or not DefRef can find the double kill godlike, and now bad news for Aqua Blue. He does get the stun up, so he'll walk away, but being unable to protect Milala there does mean devastation indeed. 25-6. 15K gold up at 20.5 minutes here. Ouch.
Yeah, the Baron just now came up, and that's something Toronto, they can choose when to take this Baron. If they even want to. They might not even need it. They can pretty much do anything they want on the map right now. They are almost 20K up. They're actually 15K up right now. They're etching their way into that 20K as they just take another dragon. That's going to be the Mountain Drake. They have complete control of the map. And I'll be honest, Corvus, there's really not much to analyze here. DefRef destroying everybody. Aaron not being touched in these team fights. Longboy dishing out so much CC. I hate to say it, Deadly and June, they almost seem like an afterthought in this team, but they're still here. June, he's still there. He's only died once. There is still
I'd be interested to see damage graphs by the end of this.
I would love to see damage graphs. I'll probably throw that up on the stream, actually.
Yeah, we'll pull this up just so everyone can get a little bit of a look at it. Now, they do take the Baron.
That was so quick.
University of Toronto, yeah, they just charge right through it. They had the Mountain Drake to make things a little faster there, but with all the damage that they had already, that Baron was all but guaranteed. Now, looks like the rundown from DefRef. He's going to be a little late to the party here, so if they want to try to catch up Aaron, they might just be able to. Longboy, however, still on this charge, just pulling everyone back. Milala in some trouble. Longboy, though, with the 1v5, got to be a little careful with the flash out. Now, he's been a great player for his team. Highest kill participation out of anybody when you look at it, more so than both of his carries, because he has just been setting them up. They've been knocking them down. DefRef coming over the wall. The exhaust will buy him some time. Maybe Milala will go down. He's low himself, but look at that. Sprinkle's not going to get out of this one in one piece. Andy carrying Aqua Blue on the run. Aaron charging through with the reset to the fountain steps, and he finds two. Will this be the third? Yes! Triple kill. Now it is at the expense of the Blom, slowly marching in bit by bit to the laser, and will die there. But the GGs come down again. 30 kills in 23 minutes, an action-packed game number 2 from Toronto to move this series 2-0 decisively in their favor over NYU.
Yeah, and I'm actually gonna get the damage graphs up real quick before we go over to our caster cams. I know you guys love seeing our faces, but we're going to transition over to something that I feel like is going to be extremely interesting. That being the damage graphs. Let's check this out. Let's see how who did. It's actually okay. So it was DefRef that did the most damage at 19,505. Aaron trailing very little, but look how little impact that that the Rumble that sorry, hold on. What's his, sorry, I forgot his name actually. I don't actually have his name up here. But look how little damage the Rumble actually did. Only 5,728. That's not his fault. That's because DefRef and Aaron were killing everybody before he could,
strong, right?
Before he could even throw down his equalizer. Like 2 members of New York University were already dead. So I don't blame the Rumble here. I definitely don't.
No.
That is
no, not the case.
Yeah, June does. Sprinkles.
Yeah, June Sprinkles is over now on the side of NYU.
All right, yeah. So let's get off the graphs. Let's go over to caster cams because it's a Our faces are probably a hint surprised. At least mine is. I know mine is.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, that was New York University. They tried changing it up, and you have to wonder if Orin mid lane might have been better because they just had more tanks. But
Ouch. Yeah.
I
No,
know.
I mean, it obviously didn't go well for him. So it was a 28-minute victory, then a 23-minute victory. We'll see if they can make it even faster for the third and potentially final game
Yeah.
if University of Toronto continues on with this momentum, with this display of strength over NYU, or can the squad from New York University just take a deep breath, find some composure, and come back now into this game number 3 a little bit more refined and ready for anything? I'm interested to see how it happens, but we are going to give the players some time to come back together, make up their minds about what they want to play. We're going to take a quick break. My name is Kyle Corvus Crow, joined by Joshua Fekes Quest. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with game number 3 in just a few short minutes.